What's going on, YouTube? So when it comes to luxury SUVs, people want more than just comfort and opulence. They want something that conveys success. And that's exactly what Infiniti is hoping to accomplish with this, the all-new QX65. This luxury crossover has a bold and sleek design that really stands out, while promising to deliver on all the other elements that luxury buyers demand. So, were they successful enough to beat the rivals? Well, let's go ahead and find out. Like always, let's start out with a quick spec dump. So under the hood of this QX65, you'll find a 2-liter variable compression turbo 4-cylinder engine, making 268 horsepower. It's paired to a 9-speed automatic transmission, you have standard all-wheel drive, and the combined fuel economy is 22 mpg.
Now the base price for the QX65 is $53,990, and if you're looking to buy one or any new vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes to get the best price. But Infiniti has packed a lot of style into this new product, so let's go ahead and check out the exterior followed by the interior.
Now, like I was mentioning at the introduction, design really plays an important role with this new QX65. And you can tell that as soon as you walk up to this vehicle up here in the front. Now, of course, it does have a grille that resembles the other Infinitis in the lineup, including the flagship QX80. But this model is really emphasizing a level of athleticism beyond what the QX80 and QX60 have. So you'll notice that signature grille is pretty wide. It's also very aggressive in its overall execution. It's a full gloss black finish. We're looking today, of course, at the fully loaded autograph model. And you know it's an Infiniti even at night because they give you the standard, very large illuminated logo. Now you still have some more gloss black elements and aggressive pieces down here on the lower fascia as well. And then as we move over here to our headlights, these are also a unique design. So up at the top here, we've got our daytime running light and turn signal indicator. This is the new piano key design for the Infiniti brand. Then the actual headlight unit itself is down here below. These are projector LEDs for both your low and your high beam, and standard on all models. As we move on to our wheel designs, you have standard 20-inch alloys and available 21-inch alloys when you go for this top-end autograph trim. As you can see, really nice looking contrast design. They definitely pop against this pearly white paint, as well as the gloss black accents that you'll find around the wheel arches and lower part of the body, as well as up here on our mirrors. Now, speaking of these mirrors, they do come equipped with blind spot monitoring, power folding, and heating, as you'd expect for a luxury SUV. Plus, you add in auto dimming on the autograph trim.
Now, as Drew mentioned at the front of this QX65, this model really exudes a more sporty nature as compared to the rest of the SUVs in the current Infiniti lineup. And you can really see that here with this nice and athletic roofline that kind of harkens a lot of memories from the old FX models that this is kind of based off of with that fastback styling. As far as your overall length, it's about 198.5 inches, which is about the same as its 3-row sibling, the QX60, and then about 6 inches longer than something like a Lexus RX. We'll talk about that later when it comes to your sizing. Now, as far as exclusive colors for this model, you do have a Sunfire Red, which is based off of the Regal Red on the Nissan GT-R, and you do have the available black contrast roof, which is what we have equipped today. Now, as we head around to the rear, this elegant and sporty styling really continues. I really think this is one of the QX65's best angles, and it really retains a lot of the looks that it had from that original QX65 monograph concept. As far as your design elements, you do have a spoiler here up top, a hidden rear wiper to keep it from weathering, and then these full-length LED taillights. These have a lot of intricate design elements, and they are fully LED for every single element. And then you have a lot of black branding going across the back, as well as your QX65 badging as well. More black continues down here to the lower bumper area. It's all a gloss black, which I really like. It's nice and premium. And then as far as your tow rating, this is rated to tow 6,000 pounds, which is honestly really good for this segment when compared to things like the Lexus RX. Now, when it comes to your safety, Infiniti keeps it nice and simple. You do have all 4 of your active safety systems as standard equipment here on the QX65. You do have one addition that's available here on this autograph trim. That is the ProPilot 2.1 Assist system, which does allow for some hands-free driving. Just keep in mind, it's pretty pricey. Packaged on this model is almost $4,000. But there's a beautiful, luxurious interior to check out, so let's get into that. But first,
if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We started young, and since then we've reviewed over 2,000 cars at every price point.
No matter what you're looking for, from our long-term vehicle videos to our side-by-side comparisons, we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family.
Let's learn a lot and have some fun with all the latest cars. All right, now on to the inside. Here is our Infiniti key fob. You can see we have standard smart entry as well as remote start on all models, and you got a little bit of Infiniti branding on the back side there. Getting inside the vehicle, of course, you have a smart entry system, so you can just grab behind the handle. We also have the walk-away auto lock and unlock enabled today. And then let's peek inside this interior. So if you're familiar with the QX60, you will see that there are many familiar elements overall, but there's also some special touches as well that add to that sporty character. Starting with these seats, the Luxe and the Sport trims will come standard with a leatherette seat. And then when you go up to this Autograph, that's where you unlock the full quilted semi-aniline leather seat. So this is a very soft and supple leather. I love all the stitching details they have going on and the contrast finish. This is a special red that's only available on the Autograph. You can, of course, get other colors if you don't like this, but this gives you that little bit of a sporty pop overall. The seats themselves have 12 ways of power adjustment, including 4 ways of lumbar support. All models come with memory seats, and let's climb on inside. Now, closing up the door, we can look around at the rest of the cabin materials. So we've got nice stuff really all over this cabin. You have a leatherette covering through here in the color contrast red with stitching details, leather through the center section, and even a leather through the top part. You have a beautiful open pore wood that goes across your door trim, and that will actually carry all the way across the upper dashboard as well. I really like this detail, like we've seen in the QX60, the nice quilted design going across the dash, and then you continue to have more leather padding through here, again in the two-tone color finish that looks quite nice. Everything does feel good and solid as well. And then our push button start is located right here next to the shifter. Now, before you go thinking that we're actually in a Mazda, it is not going to come standard with 40 or so dings for the seatbelt chime. This is still a pre-production unit. Production doesn't start for just a little while longer. So keep that in mind, but everything here really is, pretty much production ready. Now, moving to our gauge cluster, we've got the 12.3-inch digital cluster. You can put things like your Google Maps right there in the center. You can also, of course, change the view so it really emphasizes that right there in the middle. And then, of course, you also have a head-up display on your top trim level. Now, as we pull back to the steering wheel, we've got the latest Infiniti design. It is flat bottom down here. You have physical controls for all of your main functions, and the wheel itself is power, tilt, and telescoping on the Sport trim and the Autograph. But let's turn over here and take a look at interior storage, because this really is a highlight of this vehicle. So we open this up. You'll notice the center console here is quite deep. We don't have our donuts with us today since we are traveling out of the state, but I could say this would fit quite a few donuts, and I also like that it's got a felt lining all around the sides. You have 2 cup holders right there. Up here you have a wireless phone charging pad, which we have stuck an iPhone on just to demonstrate. This actually is the new Qi 2 wireless charger. So it's 15 watts. It comes with MagSafe, so it's magnetic. You can just throw your phone on there. It's going to snap into place and keep it cool at the same time. So definitely a big improvement over what many wireless phone charging pads are in this segment. Finally, we've got a very large center pass-through, which would allow you tons of flexibility of things to stick down there. Now, as far as the shifter, small electronic style. You've seen this on other Infiniti products. Pull back again for manual shifting. You have paddle shifters on the steering wheel. Popping in to reverse, here is our 360-degree camera system. This is included on your Sport trim and your Autograph trim. If you want the 3D spin ability, though, you will need to choose the technology package that's with the ProPilot Assist function. And that's what that 3D spin is going to look like. Now, of course, you just press the P on top to park. You have an electronic parking brake with brake hold. This system does still come with the control knob if you want to use it without putting fingerprints, and then you got your drive mode select right there above it. Now, in the center section, we have the half physical and kind of touch capacitive controls that the QX60 has had for a few years now. So the main thing is adjusting your temperature. You got a nice high quality knob there, but some of the other stuff is kind of embedded into this piano black. You get haptic feedback though when you touch it. You can control the rear as well as like the heated steering wheel, all your main functions. You have a standard 3-stage heated seat, and then you have seat ventilation on your sport trim level and the Autograph. Now, right in the same section, you have a physical volume knob for your audio system. Now, this has 3 different audio systems, standard 11-speaker sound system. You have a 16-speaker clips audio if you choose the middle trim, and then if you get the Autograph, that gives you the maximum, the 20-speaker clips audio. It includes things like the speakers in the headrest, allowing you to take phone calls like just for the driver, maintaining privacy as well as enhancing your audio experience. But let's give it a sample right now. Very nice. That is a really impressive sounding sound system. It fills up the cabin nicely. It has a good amount of punch, but also is pretty balanced as well. All right, let's zero in next at our infotainment system. This is, pretty much the expected kind of Nissan and Infiniti infotainment system. It's 12.3 inches. It's got their latest software, which includes things such as Google built in. That means you can access Google Maps right here natively in the system, as well as the Google Play Store and Google Assistant. Overall performance of the system, fairly snappy. It does have some pretty aggressive animations. And by the way, I did fail to mention earlier the seat massage that's on the Autograph trim. That's where you would turn that on. They don't have a physical button for this anymore, so you will have to utilize the touchscreen for that. Up top here, we've got an auto-dimming mirror, HomeLink universal remotes as well, and then since we have the top trim, that will give you the digital camera system. But you do not have to get the top trim if you want the panoramic sunroof. That's something that's going to be included on every single version. And I'll slide back that sunshade. You can see that it is still a large piece of glass, and the front panel still opens up despite the sloping roofline.
Now, I mentioned at the side that this model is pretty long for its segment, so let's talk about your measured figures. Here in the rear seats, you'll be sitting at about 35.7 inches of legroom and then about 36.9 inches of headroom. Overall, measured against things like the Lexus RX and BMW X5, that will be a little bit smaller, but when we get out our official Car Confections ruler and measure the real-world knee room space, I'm actually pretty impressed behind Drew's 5'8" driving position. I'm 5'9". I still have about 10 extra inches of knee room, and my feet can slide up underneath the seat in front of me. I will mention the seating position is a little bit of a stadium style. You kind of look over the driver and passenger seat in front of you, but they are overall really comfortable. They do have lots of reclining, and they also slide a pretty good distance as well. That's a good thing for parents. Now, as far as the rest of your features, you do have a bench seat only on this model, and then you also have a fold-down center armrest with 2 cup holders and a little phone slot. Behind the center console, you'll see standard climate controls for your 3rd zone of climate, and then you also have heated rear seats on this Autograph model. Rear USBs as well as vents that are located up here in the ceiling are standard equipment across the lineup. And then finally, looking at your door trim, I am missing out on things such as rear window sunshades, but you do have really nice materials, pretty much the same as the front. Soft touch at the top, open pore wood trim through the middle, plenty of leatherette wrapping with stitching detail, metal speaker grills, and then a lot of bottle storage down at the bottom. To access the rear hatch, you do have a standard power tailgate. Motion sensing is on the Autograph and optional on the Sport. And when you open up the rear hatch, you'll be greeted by a good amount of cargo space. But what are those figures? 35.8 cubic feet behind the second row of seats. And then when you fold them down, which I can easily do with the buttons back here to tumble them down, you'll be greeted by 67.7 cubic feet of overall space. Now, when you compare it to things like the Lexus RX, that is over 20 cubic feet more of additional space over that model. So this is really where that length comes into play. It's definitely going to be useful if you plan on taking any road trips with this model. Speaking of all of its rivals, I do want to encourage you to go to carconfections.com/vehicle rankings. On there, we've gone through all of its many rivals within this mid-size two-row luxury segment and ranked them in categories that matter most to you, that buyer. We've ranked them on things such as cargo space, in-car technology, luxury experience, as well as value. So if you want to be a smart shopper, we would encourage you to go to our website at carconfections.com. Now, as far as any other features back here, you do have a 12-volt outlet and some space underneath. You do also have a spare tire for this model. And let me go ahead and get our cargo length, width, and height measurements. Starting with your overall length behind Drew's 5'8" driving position, 83 inches. Behind the second row slid all the way back, 46 inches. And as far as the width, pretty good at 44 inches. And for your height, 28 inches. That will be a little bit less because you do have the fastback roof design. And for your load and height, that's pretty good at about 30 inches overall.
Now let's get into some more details about this powertrain. So again, under the hood of every QX65, you're going to find a 2-liter variable compression turbo 4-cylinder engine. This makes 268 horsepower and 286 pound-feet of torque. So those are the same power figures as what you get in the 3-row QX60. Now, compared to the competition, the power is going to be down a bit versus, say like the Lexus RX 350. Now, also, as I said, this is the only powertrain offering. So you'll notice there is a lack of a hybrid compared to something like the RX 350H, of course, as well. And one thing I want to address is you might have seen some rumors that there may be a V6 added to this product in the future. Infiniti is not able to confirm that at this time, but that is certainly a possibility that they said they might be considering in the future with this product, as well as some of the other models in their lineup. Now, as far as the transmission, you've got a 9-speed automatic. You also have standard all-wheel drive on all models. And the combined fuel economy for this is 22 mpg, so that is actually going to be less fuel efficient than what you get with the 3-row QX60. So that's a little bit interesting overall. Now, there are some special things about this. So it's not just exactly the same thing from the QX60 put into this QX65. Infiniti says that they did some special tuning to this product in terms of the throttle response, the overall sound of the vehicle itself, just to give it a sportier edge compared to the 3-row, which is going to be more family-oriented. Now, we certainly look forward to testing that out, but you're going to have to wait just a little while longer. We wanted to go ahead and show you guys this QX65 out here in the sunlight and give you a really detailed look at all we know about it so far, but the driving impressions are under embargo for a few more days. So make sure you come back to our channel at the date you see down below. That's when we're going to take this out for a detailed test drive. We're going to do things like get our signature sound level reading, as well as discuss if Infiniti was successful with those changes they said they made.
Now let's talk pricing. The base looks model starts at about $53,990, and you can see the entire lineup on the screen right now. We're going to be testing the autograph model today, as you've seen throughout this video, and that's going to start at $62,590. Now, I did mention that this does have some pretty expensive options on there. So you have the tech package, which is $3,700, as well as quite a few accessories, and then the beautiful paint job is going to cost $1,900 as well. After $1,545 destination, we're sitting just over $71,000. So as compared to things like a traditional Lexus RX 350, as equipped, this is going to be more expensive, but you can get ones that are going to be bringing some more value if you go for a lower spec model. Now, if you're concerned as to where this model is made, it is made just nearby here in Smyrna, Tennessee. And if you're looking to buy one or any vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. On there, you can get access to things such as invoice pricing information, which is a great tool in dealership negotiation. You can also access things such as a monthly payment tool. So if you'd like to check all of that out, we would encourage you to head to our website. But buying a car is more than just the original MSRP, so let's dive into resale, reliability, and the warranty. Let's start with resale value. After 5 years and 60,000 miles, you could expect this QX65 to be worth about 41.2% of original MSRP, and after 10 years and 120,000 miles, about 17.16% of MSRP. Now keep in mind that will be lower than brands such as Lexus and more on par with German luxury brands such as Mercedes, Audi, and BMW.
Let's also talk about reliability. We have the Combined Reliability Index, and with the latest 2026 data, it indicates that Infiniti is rated below average compared to all other vehicle makes.
Now, if you'd like to check out all of our data as well as our methodology, we would encourage you to go to our website at carconfections.com/resale and carconfections.com/reliability. Now, when it comes to your warranty, you are covered by a 4-year 60,000 mile basic warranty, a 6-year 70,000 mile powertrain warranty, and you do get 3 years of complimentary maintenance. Well guys, we hope you enjoyed this in-depth look of the all-new 2027 Infiniti QX65. If you enjoyed getting to see all of the new details for this brand new model, we would encourage you to subscribe down below. When you do that, that helps us get access to all of the latest and greatest vehicles. If you're already a fan and subscriber to the channel, thank you so much for your continued support, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.